This happened almost a decade ago, but it has been on my mind a lot lately, and I wanted to share. I'll skim past the fluff, because I know you don't want to hear my life story. I was 16 and driving down the Natchez Trace. The Natchez Trace is a protected stretch of land in the south that has a lot of indigenous history. It was my first time driving a long distance alone. It was meant to be a 2-hour trip. I didn't know about its history in detail when I started the trip. It was just a driving route that seemed slower and more scenic, which felt safer than a regular highway to me as a new driver. The Natchez Trace has a much slower speed limit compared to the highway, with the stretch I was on maxing out at about 45 mph. So, I was going slow. It was broad daylight, and I noticed a dead dog in the road. I was sad, slowed down to confirm it was dead, and kept going. Then, within a minute, I saw a whole cluster of dogs, 4 or 5, all dead in the road. That immediately sounds suspicious, but they were all hunting dogs, so my assumption was they were running together in a pack as they do and all ran into the road at the same time. I love animals, so this put a pit in my stomach. I kept driving. It didn't stop. Dogs, dogs, dogs. No other animals. Not a raccoon or armadillo or any normal roadkill animal. Dozens of dogs. Every time I passed a dead dog, I could already see another one coming up. It wasn't even noon yet. It was broad daylight, and it was just dead dogs everywhere. Once I got off the Natchez Trace, I stopped seeing them. I arrived at my destination, a family member's house, and told them everything. They didn't seem to understand the scale I was describing. Just how many dogs. I had never seen anything like it. When my stay with family was over a couple days later and it was time for me to drive back, I decided to go slow and take pictures so people would believe me. This time it was afternoon. The sun hadn't set yet, but it was still a little dim and foggy and hard to see. I was driving and strangely, frustratingly, I couldn't see the dogs. I kept pulling over to shine my flashlight onto the shadowy side of the road, hoping I could see some there, but I couldn't see anything. I kept driving very slow, constantly scanning the road and tree line to see if I could see any dead dogs. I saw something moving, and I stopped my car completely to let whatever it was cross the road. I didn't want to contribute to any more dead dogs. The animal started off small. It was in the shadows, so I could only see a silhouette. It seemed like an armadillo at first. Small, bleep little thing. As it walked, it got bigger. I figured that maybe it was crouching down before, and now it was standing up. It seemed medium, like a big fox or small coyote. It kept walking. It got bigger. It was actually crossing the road now, even though it was in the sunlight. Now, it was still just a silhouette, just black. I had my phone in my hand, but I didn't pick it up to take a picture. I was just leaned all the way against my steering wheel, squinting and turning my head trying to make sense of it. It seemed to stand up more and more, still staying on all fours. This isn't a got up and walked like a person story. It just seemed like it was growing until it was dog-sized, then bigger than a dog. At one point it had floppy ears and then pointy ears. It would be bleep and then I'd blink and it was skinny. It had a long tail and then no tail. It was so amorphous. It was clearly in the light, just in front of my car, but it seemed so blurry and hard to see what was going on. It didn't pause. It just kept walking until it reached the tree line on the other side. Suddenly very armadillo-sized again. It scared the bleep out of me. I saw no more dead dogs the rest of the trip. The trip was supposed to be 2 hours. It took me 5 hours to get home, even with my phone giving me directions. When I got home, my mom asked me why it took me so long. I genuinely didn't know. It seemed like the same route to me. It just took over twice as long this time. She had Life 360 on my phone at the time and said I had suddenly started driving the opposite direction from home for a while and then turned back around and came back. I have no memory of this. It all looked like the same roads to me. Also worth noting that I've had an irrational fear of dogs since this, which is wild for me. I used to go to the Humane Society just to walk dogs. In my free time, I loved picking out the scary ones that didn't get enough love. I have rescued dogs before. I've been bitten and attacked by dogs and recovered fine with no fear. Since this, I am very uneasy around dogs. I can't explain why.